When I say duck, y'all say twins. When I say all right, y'all say crew. R.I.P. Stop. Oktoberfest. Community grip, we the best. Coronado, turn it up. What? Stock keep them, drink it up. Stop. What? Oktoberfest. Yeah. Community grip, we the best. Coronado, turn it up. What? Stock keep them, drink it up. Yeah. Stocktoberfest, let's go. Stocktoberfest, let's go. Stocktoberfest, let's go. Stocktoberfest, let's go.
All right.
Oktoberfest, let's go. Hey, we're going to be at Stocktoberfest, right? Like we're there October 20th through 22nd in Coronado. You can go to stocktoberfest.stocktwits.com and get your tickets. Use code HB for a discount. But hey, it's the community rip. We're back. It's Bags. It's Nick. It's Gautam. Guys, how are we? What's going on? All I see selling and engaging bearish posts on this glorious post-rapture day.
I forgot about that. Did you like my joke from this morning?
Yeah, did you like mine?
I did.
So what's up, guys? What's up? We're live. We got the crew here. Okay,
GP, you want to take it, or I mean,
I'm happy to take it. First of all, happy Wednesday, everyone. It's getting to the point where I think everyone wants to short, right? They're looking for the breaks, they're looking for stuff. But right now, we're seeing small liquidity breaks that get bought up. Until that stops happening, the bias is to the upside. And as I was talking to you guys pre-market, we had one of the best earnings quarter in 25 years last quarter. So I can see them grinding this. Sorry, it's not drilling, but grinding this higher into October earnings before they potentially sell down in case earnings are not as good as they were last quarter. I think if you're looking from a macro perspective, everyone saw the headlines that it's the best earnings in 25 years. You can have pressure to the upside still. And today was weak, 100%, but all the technicals held, right? We've talked about the intraday timeframes, the hourly, 2 hourly, 4 hourly, 50 and SMA moving averages, all just tagged today for the first time since September 5th, held and bounced. Now, if we break these today, if the pressure increases into the close, then I think you have more short-term movement down. But I look at my watch list, and I think, Nick, you said like 30-35% of your watch list is green. I look at most of my watch list, and it's fairly fairly green outside of the mega caps. But the ones you have to keep caution on is Netflix and Spot, right? I've talked about those for years now.
Netflix and Spot. This guy with his Netflix and Spot.
Yep. But look, man, AMD is green. Tesla has obviously been green all day. Barely had it had its usual intraday crap. It can't break year-to-date highs, but it's holding up when I'm sure everyone yesterday was bearish going into Tesla, and it hadn't even broken the 8-day, right? And today it comes out roaring out of the gates and getting right to that 439.74 selling. So I think you're seeing healthy rotation underneath. If you're looking at the markets, crypto's doing better today, right? After some weekdays, you have Unity that's doing well, Tesla for solar, my current Bay, Lulu.
Bay and
there's a lot of stuff to like. That's all I got for now.
Yeah,
Nick.
Yeah, for sure. I think I was going to say Bitcoin would look phenomenal putting in a higher low here. From just what I'm looking and watching at, it's like the megas are putting pressure on the indices, but at the same time, I totally agree. Like where price is sitting and kind of what we talked about, pre-show, it's like price is sitting right on the floor right now. Like Amazon Had a wide range bar yesterday, right to the low end of the range. And yeah, we've sold off all morning in Amazon, but it's still kind of flirting with that low. It hasn't really seen much follow through yet. The 200-day is right underneath this, I don't know, floor level of support. Kind of same thing with Microsoft. It's like Microsoft has done a pretty good job at holding the 500 after selling off. And even like Microsoft, for instance, in looking how it did sell off, like it seems very just kind of like a boring drift down, like it doesn't seem like anything too wild. And even if, in the event that we do see some weakness, like I said, I think, Microsoft looks good all the way down. If you were a long-term holder or investor, like Microsoft, anything above 450, 460, I think looks phenomenal. Meta right there, sitting on the 50-day, sitting basically on the prior pivot high from back in what is that, early 2025. It's kind of got even like an inverse head and shoulders building out right now, pending it holds the 50-day here. I personally I don't really want to see, like when I see ranges building out or like a base on base, I don't want to see price reverting back into the prior range. Worst case scenario, I would kind of be in the camp that if price reverts back into a range, it's going to test the lows of the prior range, while at the same time, the trend is up. And so it's not like I would be looking to short, like let's say Meta, for instance, right? Like let's say Meta has a range from 730 to, let's just say 550. I wouldn't be shorting Meta thinking that it's going to revert all the way back to the low end of the range. At the same time, it wouldn't surprise me. And if I have a long bias and the trend is up, I'd basically just be waiting for a setup where it looks as though like a higher low is getting put in. So I don't know. It's just kind of my take on it. I mean, yeah, like GP said, Tesla been. I had a feeling Tesla was gonna do this. I was like, dude, is it gonna pull a fucking? I for some reason I call this like a hot dog setup where it's like,
yes,
got like that outside kind of reversal, and then it gaps up. You're thinking it's gonna get followed through to the downside, but it just rips the other direction.
Green, red, green, hot dog.
Yeah. So
an ascending triangle, right? A year-to-date high.
Yeah.
This is going to break out. I don't. A lot of people are shit talking Tesla like they know how the price behaves in Tesla. Let me tell you, a 19% move is not a move for Tesla, right? Like this is coiling. This is getting ready. We're going to take out all-time highs. You can talk shit. You can do whatever you want. We're going to go ape shit from here, and I will probably be proven wrong tomorrow. But
it hurts my head, GP. It hurts my fucking head, and I'm spouting obscenity because, like, we mapped this out months ago on Tesla. I mean, below 216 was a be cautious, stay away. Once it got to 300, you should be, if you're not buying, you should have been buying. And now we're past 400. Like this is marching to a new all-time high, and you either get on board or you get run over, right? We can go to one of my newest longs, which should have been I should have never gotten anything but long in NVIDIA. But once it goes, then it goes through a period of choppiness, right? It builds more buyers in for the next leg higher. And I don't know. I know, believe me, I'm ready to lighten my Tesla load. I am still a Tesla shareholder until I get my price target, and then I'm out. But I don't know why everyone wants to fight the tape. I come back to what we were talking about just most recently, GP, the whole axiom of sell Rosh Hashanah, buy Yom Kippur, right? And I think today's part of Rosh Hashanah. So we're there. It's sold, right? And I don't think that it means that you sell and only sell during this week. I think this is the time to buy, and you better be long before Yom Kippur. That's a better way of putting it, in my opinion, because I think once we get in October, we're going to have a lot of people wishing that they bought at these prices. That's just my take. I had the cues up earlier.
One thing before you continue, let's just finish the Tesla one. Hold on one second.
Okay, back to Tesla.
So take a look at the monthly. Let's take a look at the monthly here, and let's scroll back to the rejection during COVID on Tesla. Right. Let's go back to the breakout that happened in Tesla in 2020, right? And it put in that kind of topping candle there, and then came back and rejected it.
Yep.
Right. And so we're at a very, very similar point in terms of where the chart continues to be. If this breaks out, bags, and if I think it breaks out in the way I think Tesla breaks out, we probably are closer to 700 by the end of the month, end of October, than 400, right? This is coiling, this is power. They keep trying to short it at these resistance levels, and they keep winning. Like yesterday, it was acting really strong, and then the market just kind of tanked at that last moment, right? And then the option sellers just took over. And at some point in the near future, these option sellers are going to get run the fuck over. And I'm looking forward to it because they've been holding my beast for a long time now. So, but I just love the monthly setup here. It looks like it's going. Can it be a failure? Yeah, because Tesla does fail all the time. But if it does not fail, this breakout sets up. And so what's the measured move, right? The measured move is from 488 to 214. Remember, I never filled the earnings gap from 2024, by the way, on October. It's a 274 point move from.
I mean, you can just measure out from 100 to even 100 to 400. You got 300 points there.
Yeah. So I know your price target is 500. Ben,
I know you're telling me to stay. You're telling me to stay longer. I know.
Yeah.
You're the famous guy that told me to get off the bus for training Chicago once too.
I know you don't like it necessarily, right? Like him, sorry. So you want to be out sooner rather than later. Yep. Maybe hold on to a few.
I'll take it under advisement.
This is not financial advice.
I'll take it under advisement. I won't hold you to it. But my big brain and my big old head here is just ready to explode. I think sometimes we get, and I can be guilty of this. We can all be guilty of this. We overthink shit. We're humans, right? We overthink shit all the time. But just look. We have had these levels all the way up since we broke out, right? And I can go to the daily and it'll illustrate that even more. Like you hit the range, you come back down, you go higher, right? The whole way up, kicking and screaming. And what are we doing right now? We're testing the prior gap up breakout. We're testing the 9 daily EMA. Like, I get that bearish posts are the most engaging. Fully understand why Fintwaterati do what they do. But I just think it's a bunch of nothing. I mean, you guys know how I was positioned coming into last week. I was expecting more of a dip from last week's activity than this week. But hey, we got it. It's here. If you don't have a plan and if you're not ready to put money to work in the names you're most convicted in, what are we even doing? Why are we even here?
I think it's to talk shit to people like the Jerry Maguire.
Show me the money. But Nick, do you see anything that's happened so far in the previous in yesterday and today as any sort of change in character or any warning shots fired at this point?
No,
GB,
I
you're
think
shaking your head.
I think the only the only thing that the difference between today and I think just from I guess kind of what I've probably felt and seen is I felt like the early AM, some of the weakness I thought was a little sharper and harder than what we have seen, but I kind of it just from what I've been watching, it's like you had the names that held their lows and are continuing to hold their lows, and then you had the names that kind of just continued to weak and like continue to stay weak, like like our cat, for instance, has just like remained heavy all day. Where I mean it's just like a kind of a random name, but at the same time it's not really like doing anything that should warrant. I mean, it's in a range. It hasn't broken out yet. I guess it failed to break out yesterday. It failed to hold the breakout, but the moving averages are still pointing up. Price is still kind of respecting those moving averages. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
GP, you were nodding your head up and down when I asked that question to Nick. Expand on that nodding.
Yeah.
So it's two things, right? So we've talked about this. The first test of the rising 50 SMA on the 4-hour NQ chart is typically buyable. We just did that for the first time today since September 5th. Buyers have stepped in. Now we'll have to see if they continue to step in. But the warning charts were fired today on small caps, telling you to cover. They have been shorting the living crap out of this every time. This is the only index that is struggling with all-time highs from 2021 and 2024 because they keep firing at it. The warning shot today was your liquidity grab right down to the 4-hour 50 SMA, and cover or perish is the warning shot on small caps. And if that coincided with NQ weakness, the tech weakness, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But take a look at your watch list. What's green today, right? It's
AMD.
It's AMD, but it's also China. It's also retail, right? It's XPI. It's energy. It's broadening, right? It is broadening outside of tech. The money is coming out of tech, so to speak. It never comes out for more than a couple of days, but not never, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I think the warning charts are being fired on small caps, like cover or perish, because this behavior only lasts so long. You can only win so much, but this is just, to me, it looks great on intraday time frame.
Well, we talked previously about the IWM, right? And I likened it to our gold trade. God, I don't know how long ago. If you're wanting to get in, you may as well wait until it breaks above all-time highs and sustains it, right?
Yep.
If you're not in already, you may as well wait.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
otherwise you're risking what? At best, that to the purple line. At worst, probably down to the midline. I don't know. I just think you guys know how much it ruffles my feathers seeing all the bearish commentary. And believe me, like, I like to buy stocks cheaper too, but I don't know. I think cheaper is what we've gotten the past 24, 48 hours.
And 4 years, right? We've had we've had a 37% correction, a 37% correction, and then a 25% correction in the last 5 years alone.
I mean, are there animal spirits? Are we frothy? Yes, and yes. I think all those are answered yes. But overbought can stay overbought just the same as oversold can stay oversold. And until we get some type of major break, I mean, I know we all love talking about seasonality, but what does October kick off, basically, right?
Earnings season.
I mean, when you look at the Qs too, I mean, coming out of 2022, like that was such a fucking brutal year. I don't
Brutal.
think people really understand it. Like for those that weren't around 08, like I think 2022 was so much worse than 2008, 2009. And then kind of like what we were speaking to yesterday, it's like you could have looked at it two ways. You know, you could say that the trend was reversing, you know, coming out of like January 2023 when like the descending channel broke. Or you could argue that once price went sideways and price broke out, kind of like, what was that, April of 2023. But then like on a whole nother, from a whole nother point of view, the trend doesn't actually resume until the previous high gets taken out.
Right.
So I just am hard pressed to think that, you know, we see something like 2022. And then of course, like we're not even talking about the tariff sell-off. Like that was brutal as it was. I mean, it was short-lived, but it was enough to wipe out a shit ton of people. So I'm just hard pressed to think that even if we did see some type of pull in here, which, you know, I think somebody in the chat was asking about the SPY. Just if you want to flip over the SPY weekly really quick, you know, the 10-week is sitting right at 645, and you know we've got a nice 4-week tight right there at 645 as well. So if we were going to pull in, I think that's kind of like a logical or an area of interest that I would be looking at. And ultimately, I would be leaning towards us holding there if we did pull in that hard. So just kind of just my take.
Yeah, I
Hop
think
in real quick.
I'm just looking at the SPY, like I think we could even drift down to what is that? Sort of like the 659 area.
Sure.
Well, that would be fine, right? Another point off the SPY. Give me some cheaper shares. I'll take it. Nick, you were mentioning some of the mega caps, and I know historically in our relationship, you have been less willing to participate in the mega caps. But just now talking, you were saying how good Tesla looks, how good you think Meta looks, and then finally Microsoft's a buy at I forgot which point, but you like Microsoft too, obviously. So
yeah, I like Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say.
I think
we would repeatedly talk about this rotation, right, from the megas. I think we're rotating into the megas, and maybe that could be some of the disruption that we're seeing in the small caps.
Yeah, I think that it is Tesla and Apple's time to shine. I think Amazon and Google right behind, but I take that back. Meta is probably my favorite behind Tesla. And I do think it's Apple's time to shine. I don't really have an interest in taking an Apple position just because I just don't. But Meta, I like Meta. I like I don't like Meta like the product. I like Meta the chart.
The chart.
You know, like kind of what we were talking about yesterday. Like I think that Meta is gonna continue to evolve and be like an online, just your online human data center. So on the daily, I like it a little bit more than the weekly. I kind of like the inverse head and shoulders it's building out. And just where price is kind of sitting, I think it's going to gravitate towards 1,000 is kind of where I think it's ultimately heading. And then, you know, who knows from there.
Hey, shout out to Trader Ty. Everybody in the chat, vote for Trader Ty to join us at Stocktoberfest. And he's up in a competition. Go to Stocktwits' page and vote in that poll so we can get him there. Ty has been a great contributor for Stocktwits for years, and he puts out great stuff. So let's support him. Love you, Ty. I hope to see you there. But if you want to join us and you're not in this competition, go to stocktoberfest.stocktwits.com. What's your guys' code? HB20's mine.
JFDI 20.
JFDI 20 and GP20. So feel free to use whichever code you want for 20% off. We would love to see you in Coronado. Nick said I'm having an open bar. I don't remember co-signing that, but we'll just see what happens. We'll just play it by ear. I mean, hey, Nick, I agree with you on the meta thing. I don't like the company. I do like the chart. I don't think I would be tempted to buy here because I like putting money to work elsewhere. But yes,
sure. I'd be if I was going to take on meta, I'd be buying a breakout through the neckline.
Yep.
So probably through like 783, 84. Unless I mean, I'd be tempted if we did see weakness here and it shook down to like 700. I'd throw some money to work at 700. The 200-day is again kind of catching up to price there. You've got the gap fill at 700, and I just think a round number would be easy to play against.
So I think it's Amazon's turn. Amazon has just crawled while the likes of Google has most recently run as of last quarter. So I think Google has continuation maybe. I like Amazon, obviously, talking my book now, but I think it's its turn to overperform. And I like Apple. Apple already hit my price target of $250 for the short term. Now it just needs to stay above that. And I think Apple can go higher. And when I say go higher, I don't mean that these three are all of a sudden going to do this 30% stuff in a day, but I think they steadily go higher. And that's what I like messing with. GPAISA is sober as cucumbers. Yeah, none of us drink really. So anyway.
So yeah, kudos to you guys. In terms of thought process, I really like the thought process from you guys, right? Like I don't say it often enough, but it's just nice to hear it out loud, and it gets me to shut up for a minute too. So
yeah, you talk a lot, so we got to take our time when we can. GP, hey GP, one thing I did want to ask you right before the call, we were setting up how we were going to come into today's pod, and you mentioned inflation on why inflation is good.
So one of the reasons, like it's good and bad, right? One of the reasons we had some of the best earnings we've ever had is because of inflation, right? These guys can justify charging higher prices, and people are paying it, and that's contributing to their bottom line. On an overall top-down perspective, right? Revenue is going to increase. Margins can increase too, depending on how it is. And none of the tariffs actually really went to place, right? So you're able to increase prices at least incrementally. Let's say it's 5%, 10%, whatever it is, without having too much of an impact. If people are like, oh, it's tariff related or whatever it is, right? It's possible that it's a one-time increase, right? And the thought process is that we could potentially sell into post-October earnings because it's, first of all, everyone's expecting a strong year-end finish, right? That's part of the conversation. And second is that if the earnings don't continue to grow in the same manner, which I actually think they will, so I don't think the big sell comes, but if you're so focused on shorting the markets versus following the trend until the trend breaks, then that's one possible point where you could see some weakness, right? So that, like, I think inflation helps companies overall and hurts consumers. And at some point, consumers will start to fight back. But everything I see in the real world, consumers are not fighting back. Not yet, at least. I don't know about you guys when you're out, because we all live in different demographics. So
everything's hopping.
I think where I'm at, obviously, there's a a healthy amount of value shoppers, right? And being very conscious of the purchases. But yeah, people, I mean, the stores are still packed. Like people are still putting money to work in different ways.
Dude, I went to a Costco on like a random, it was like the busiest I've seen, like a random weekday at like 7 o'clock at night. And I'm like, wow, what the hell is going on, right? But it is what it is, right? It's just, the consumers are still strong, in my opinion. Until that weakness starts to show up, we can continue to rally on. We've talked about this in the podcast before too, which is I would love a flush, right? Instead of this grind
Yes.
behavior, I would love a flush so we can actually get liquidity to properly move to the upside. But we can also just grind.
Oh, and we briefly touched on prior. I just kind of posted in the chat. So like, let's say we do get that flush, let's say like Amazon doesn't hold this 220. The range is basically 220 to 235. So that gives you a 15-point range. If price drops here, you might get a chance at like 205, 210-ish in Amazon. Yep. And in the event that we get that, today was the first time that I saw my McClellan actually finally start to drop. It's been like fluttering in this kind of neutral, like right around zero as we've grinded, and we're pushing, like we're at negative 90 right now. It would not take much. Negative 200 reading on the McClellan is kind of where you are looking for an oversold, reading. And if we're already sitting at negative 90, like it wouldn't take much to get us to a negative 200 reading. And if we get a negative 200 reading,
you got to buy
all in. Yeah.
You got to buy.
Sure. Yeah.
You got to buy. I just threw a straight line over Amazon here. I think around 200s. If you got it, I would take it. I already took some at 221 and I'm very happy with it. It's the first Amazon ads I've had since like somewhere back here.
Sure.
So I'm confident in it. And I think I'm going to come back to the Qs. I think we're done. I think we're done on the sell-offs. We could move a little bit, but I don't think we're going to get anything more significant than that. I would be very surprised if we came back into 580. I would be very, very surprised. But anything's possible. I'm open to it, but I don't think so. I think we're done.
Dude,
we'll see how the week finishes out. Today's only Wednesday.
On May 11th, we talked about a lockout rally.
Yep.
Do you feel locked out? Because I think a lot of people do, right? But
if I didn't have so much money put to work, I would.
Yeah, dude. So for Amazon and in all these charts, we are about to finish not just a monthly chart, but also a quarterly chart, right? And so if you're looking at the Amazon quarterly, or if you're looking at a lot of these quarterlies, look at the Tesla quarterly, right? We can go back to that in a minute, but the Amazon quarterly is putting in a doji right now. I don't think, and the quarterly doesn't close till next Tuesday, FYI.
I'm sorry, GP, the quarterly on Amazon?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yep. It's essentially put in it's based for 3 quarters, right? And the quarter closes next Tuesday. I'm inclined to actually take calls into next week from here as I was looking at this chart, because I haven't looked at the Amazon chart in a long time. It's just done not much, but I can see them ramping this higher into the quarterly close next week, right? This could easily go back to all-time highs by the end of next week. But I think what you have to pay attention to is not just Amazon, but the quarterly charts on so many of these names. Another popular name, look at HIMS.
Oh, we know GP loves some hims and hers.
Yes, but look at the quarterly. What's it doing? The entire body continuously. That's a trend. That's 3 quarters in a row, right? the entire body is sitting above the prior entire body. This, and look at the buying, right? This is not bearish, not yet. Maybe it will be. You also have back-to-back inside quarters here. Let's go to the Tesla.
Let me say in terms that everyone can understand, GP. The chart is trending higher. This is not bearish behavior.
Yes. The wicks aren't great. I agree. But when you have the next quarter sit its entire body in the upper wick, that is definitely not bearish. On top of the trending higher, the volume is telling you that the breakout is just starting. Until it breaks meaningfully to the downside, you have a really good part. So like we always talk about time frame alignment, right? So I start here, and considering we're coming up on monthly and quarterly closes, this is important. Let's go to the Tesla quarterly, right? Like you can talk about, oh, it should only be 441. That's the floor, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you want to talk about. Let's take a look at this quarterly. Inside quarter and up. We broke through. We peaked above the 2 quarters ago high, which is also the year-to-date high. This, once again, is not bearish. Like you can say 441, 500 is whatever it is, but you've just had 2 inside quarters in the upper range of the last 5 years. Not bearish. Like you can be bearish short term, whatever, things can happen. I mean, if you're looking at overall trends, there's nothing here that says bad news bears is coming.
Well,
right?
we're on the verge of a quarterly high close. We're on
And
the verge
monthly.
of a quarterly monthly close. Like, what
And
more
weekly.
do you want, people?
Yeah.
And a weekly, right? You have multiple time frame alignments here.
Believe me, I'm the first one to be Chicken Little. The sky is falling, right? Like of our little triumvirate here, I'm the first one that's always like, I don't know, guys, you all are really bulled up.
Is that a good thing or bad? I don't know.
No, it puts us in heat check, right? I can be an optimistic son of a bitch. I get that. You can call me a perma bull, but
No, I'm in agreement with you.
Well,
right?
no,
So,
GP, like your intraday chart that I retweeted earlier. Like, there's nothing that sets my conviction on fire is when GP is bearish, even for a minutia of a second. It's like, yes, my buys are great because I know he's not going to stay a bear long. He's not going to be bearish long.
but we were right in 2020.
Sure,
2022. We were bears,
Yeah.
right? Not maybe off the initial hold in January, but when things started to fail, it was bad news all the way till May, and then I turned bull because we went flat. But that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
So,
for those who are unfamiliar with the show, it was endless weeks of GP and I arguing of this is a downtrend versus we are flat.
And look, man, we started with the Netflix call. This is where all this podcast started, right? Netflix fails. We're in for fucking. I'm gonna relax on the cursing. We're in for a bad time for a long time, right? And that one played out nearly perfect. It was like what, a 78% retracement, and people still call me perma bulls. Like I don't care. I don't care as long as I make money. So
as good as the Netflix call was, GP was nailing the bottom as closely to the penny as you did. That was golf clap. or as I do as some of the chef.
Yeah, the Swedish chef. It's I think like people assume that you get a 35 to 40% correction. We have to have 80 because GFC happened. We've talked about this so many times. You gotta have a secondary catalyst. No secondary catalyst, your risk is to the upside, not the downside.
We haven't even talked about the lowering of interest rates, right? Which I posted the chart. It was either last week or over the weekend of when a rate cuts and price of the S&P is within a 2% of all-time highs. it's like undefeated in the last 30 years of going up. Like you're up at some percentage. And I think the average was like 15%. Right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Am I talking crazy?
No, that seems accurate. I think the other part of the longevity part of that conversation is what it does is it frees the capital access for smaller companies, which allow them to grow in a meaningful way, right? Like, so the trend is that they're going to start a cut. Will they continue it? Jay Powell is Jay Powell, right? He's in an internal battle with Trump and his crony crew. But ultimately, if the access to capital eases and the amount of money you have to spend, the money that's available to these small caps, the small caps that survived the downturn over the last 3 years, which means it's the stronger lot, right? And we're seeing it in a lot of the parabolic moves. But when you have a stock named after an Italian dish that keeps going up, it's hard to be short the markets, right? Like spaghetti, rigetti, this thing, it just keeps going.
Unreal.
Yeah, dude, it's nonsense for the most part, but it's the trend. And look, man, 3D printers are back in style. So
yeah, baby.
Yeah, I was gonna point out. I was looking when we had the quarterly up. I was pulling up your cybersecurity names.
Oh yes, please.
And I know ZS kind of looking kind of rough today. You know, it's kind of pulling in hard, but look at like the ZS quarterly. I mean, crowd looks phenomenal too, but the ZS quarterly looks like it's about ready to like fucking launch, doesn't it?
ZS quarterly, I'm pulling it up.
I mean, I would probably wait.
Sure. Okay.
But I see where you're going with it. I could make a case, Nick. Right?
It's sitting.
You've got this, but for me, same thing as we said with IWM. I would just let it take out all-time highs first.
Yeah, I'm certainly not. Yeah, I'm certainly not saying that. I'm just the way that I'm looking at it. You had a massive wide range bar pushed right up into all-time highs, and price basically held the 0.38 of that candle. So it held the upper third of this candle. As of right now, the volume's really kind of average. I don't know. I set an alert on it literally while we were scanning the quarterly. So
I don't like.
I thought crowd looks phenomenal. Kind of same thing. It's kind of held within the top third of like that previous kind of wide range candle.
I could make more of a case on the monthly than the quarterly.
On ZS.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Hey, Jay McGuire, just a heads up. I asked Joey Rockets to hook you up with Stocktwits Edge. Thank you so much for your participation in the chat. We love it, and we love to reward you with that. And if you haven't voted for Trader Ty yet, I just tweeted, whatever, on my profile, the voting to go vote for him. So do that too if you haven't already.
So I have one thing to talk about. Quarterly double bottoms.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
They have been very, very powerful. One example is obviously Wayfair. W.
Oh, damn.
What time frame you want?
Right.
You said
quarterly
quarterly?
double bottom on volume and then rip to the upside. Another one is CRISPR.
But it's a Head and Shoulders.
CRSP.
Crack myself up.
Another quarterly double bottom on volume and then rip to the upside, right? You dip under and then you rip to the upside. The ones that are potentially setting up to, so I'd be careful if you're looking for shorts, this is where I'd be looking. Okta.
Cybersecurity name.
Yeah, I was going through the cybersecurity names while you were talking about ZS, but this quarterly does not look good.
They've been the gang that can't shoot straight since all-time highs.
Yeah, dude, it looks like it needs the quarterly double bottom flush, right? So keep an eye on this, but if you are inclined to short stuff, this is the type of stuff that I'd be shorting, right? This has an overall overarching trend of weakness, right? And at every point in time it's showing weakness. So I could see that double bottoming, but I think Joey Rockets was asking about a fan favorite, which is getting you that double bottom. This happens Tuesday, so let's see how the price actually closes.
Which fan favorite?
TTD.
Trade desk.
All right, like had this huge move down. Huge move down. It's a quarterly bottom potential here. Like I said, I still want to see how it closes on Tuesday. If you wanted to play this, you could potentially play calls into next week's quarterly candle that it closes higher if you're a bull. But I would wait to see how the quarterly forms and if it can rally back into that, what is that, 60 level or so before the close. That's a pretty decent move. That's about 30% from here. So I'm not saying it will happen, but anything above 55 would probably be good. But these are patterns I've noticed a lot this time around. They've come back and done quarterly double bottoms. Affirm was another one. Look at Affirm. Maybe quarterly is not as good, maybe monthly, but it's a double bottom, right? So on the base is the bottom of the base and then rip higher. The other one, there's so many in this now. I don't want to go through all of them, but I just think you got to watch for these quarterly double bottoms. They've basically come back, tested COVID lows, and then came back and retested COVID lows again during tariffs and haven't broken down. So. And there goes Tesla.
Thanks, Joey, for hooking real Jerry Maguire up with some edge for 3 months. Really appreciate that. What up, T-Stock? What up, dudes? Hey, dudes, I didn't think algorithms can watch video, so I'm not sure how you're watching us, but we're glad you joined us. I think we got to talk about Mobileye since Duzio's here.
Or Umbrella.
Let's see what Mobileye is doing. I know this is Duzio's largest position. Hey, I mean, I think you might have a bottom here, maybe. What do you think, GP, on the quarterly?
I thought he said First Solar was his biggest position.
No, it's Mobileye. It's Mobileye. He's all in Mobileye at below 14.
Dude.
But we did want to talk about First Solar. We can go there. Who wants to pick up First Solar?
I'll pick up First Solar. Go ahead, Nick, while I berate Duzio for this Mobileye chart.
Yeah, I think First Solar looks great. It broke out of its kind of weekly descending channel. It put in a 3-week tight right there at 180. It kind of went tight again there, right at 200. In the near term, you have a measured move back to 300. And then obviously from there, it's like, clear skies. I think the other solar name that is kind of hot is NXT. And then what was the other? Was it SEI? SEI. But that one kind of sold off pretty damn hard today. Is SEI?
What do you like about
I can't remember if SEI is a solar name or not. I could be wrong there, but FSLR and NXT I think are my two faves.
Hey, TK, welcome. Thanks for joining. We love the chat. GP, awesome. FSLR, tell us.
So the symmetry, right? Like the V here, the W here that's setting up here, the handle that is setting up at a 20-year base. You could call it a cup and handle. You could call it inverse head and shoulders. It has been prepping its entire life for what's about to happen here.
Oh,
I kick
I
my
like the
own
sound of
ass
that.
every day for not buying this at $65.
And dude, look at that volume. Look at what in the middle of tariffs where Trump hates solar. By the way, Trump does not hate solar. Look what solar did from 2016 to 2020. But that's the narrative that he hates solar. He's ending everything. And look at the volume on that monthly. Now expanded all the way back to 2007, 2008. And you are sitting at a precipice of a monster base breakout. For me, the target on FSLR is in the 4 digits, right? It's not an expensive stock. It is.
It's not a Head and Shoulders.
It's not a Head and Shoulders. It has potential to get the AI boost in solar as well. My biggest concern is
Elon's pounding the table on solar.
Yeah, my biggest concern is that they get spot out before they get to achieve their dreams. But I hope they don't, and I am looking forward to what this thing does. That volume is heavy. That it's sitting at resistance points. It had all the technical things of a reversal, right? Like the 5,200 cross. There's so many things that continue to build momentum here, that when this move happens, you're going to regret not being in it. That's my personal opinion. It is also not financial advice. I am in it. I am in it from the 130s. So I can talk my book a little bit more because I'm up nearly 100%. But
well, when we say you, we're really meaning us, right? Like,
yeah.
or between the three of us, we're saying, you could do this or you could do that. Basically, we're talking about how we trade and how we do things and what's been successful for us and what we've experienced and learned, right? Like, we're not saying that you should copy every one of our trades, but we've been successful at doing what we do. Not financial advice.
Yeah, it looks so good.
Dude,
I know that there were a lot of other names in the chat. I know we also wanted to get to Shopify real quick. You want to tackle Shopify and then maybe get one or two from the chat, guys?
Sure.
Yeah. Quick shout out to Yoga Pants before we do Shopify.
Okay, we'll go to Lulu first.
Lulu looks good. It looks like it's creating that double bottom. What I will tell you about this is it probably comes back and retests this area in a few months. But for now, the trend is going to be higher for Yoga Pants. It is in the gap from the earnings, which is always powerful. The quicker it fills this gap, the better it will be for the bulls. So that's what I'll have on watch for the next week and a half. I am in this via sold puts and January leaps for now. We'll use both of those. Hopefully they work, and use both of those to create the cash needed to buy when it comes back to double bottoming. For what are we talking about? Shopify. We haven't talked about Shopify, and I don't hear it talked about.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. And so I haven't looked at the chart in a long time. So that's why I wanted to bring it up, right? It's like I sold out early on the move. I got frustrated with it. And obviously, usually the frustration ends in more frustration because it just goes higher. Kind of like my Roblox trade. I tried to be cute with timing it, etc. This looks pretty good. It hit 170s in 2020, 2021 based on insane valuations, and I think they've now grown into it. And it's consolidating here. It's poking its head above on the weekly. Monthly is higher highs consistently for how many months?
Forever.
What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight months. All right. So like I said, I haven't looked at this in a while, but it looks great.
Yeah, for how hard it's pushed into highs, it's really, I mean, looking at the weekly, it's not really selling off that hard. And I think you've got a range from like 133, 135, up to that 155. So if you get any kind of pull into like even the 140s, I think it'd be worth taking a stab at. You've got a
This was
3
another
week,
call
4 week.
GP had somewhere in this range. I'm not sure
Yeah.
where, but this was another great call. We've had so many.
Yeah, he was
great
all over that.
calls. Nick, I think your best call by far was when you recommended Gush.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, man.
Hey, you want to know something?
I love you.
I think XLE is looking pretty damn good today.
Yes, yeah, I think so too.
I mean,
Here's another
I don't know.
opportunity for Monkey to put another feather in his hat on old dudes.
I know. Literally, like
we really
4
talking
years
about
of.
the index that has done nothing since fucking 2022. Really? That looks
Yeah,
good.
that's what I was gonna say.
Sure.
Dead money.
Dude,
This gold. This is gold on another level. If it goes, participate. If it doesn't, stay out of it.
Yeah.
There's so much other stuff that's working. Sure, have some exposure to oil, but energy companies.
Dude said yikes. Hey, Fanny Packing wants our thoughts on MU, so let's get to Micron real quick. We might have time for one or two more after this one. Micron has just been a hell of a ride. I mean, for the longest time, they were part of the gang that couldn't shoot straight and get out of this sort of 50-60 range. But this has been some movement since 2023, basically.
Didn't we talk about MU last week?
I don't think so.
I could have sworn someone asked about it. Because I have fibs drawn on it from basically kind of the breakout through 130.
Well, tell us about that, Nick.
Well, so I've got fibs drawn from just the previous breakout at 130 up to the kind of 170 high. I mean, I'd be perfectly happy if it closed the week out here, put in another tight week or a couple tight weeks, and just kind of held this range. It's already sitting above all-time highs, so I wouldn't be surprised if price just continued, but it is, a bit extended.
What an AI name. That was a great call out, VPA. Yeah, AI for sure has supercharged this baby.
And is this the first earnings where they didn't shit the bed? No, they're red today, right? Did they just have earnings?
Yeah, they're red today.
Oh no. It had a green day and then shit the bed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's off the lows and it held the 10-day.
I know this is a common stock that runs into earnings and then earnings are good and comes down and gives you an opportunity to buy again.
Yeah.
So if you compare the MU chart to the AMD chart, it's like they're ugly siblings of each other.
I can make money in MU. I cannot make money in AMD.
You buy the shares. That's the only way.
Yeah. AMD's
So
out.
I do have on some AMD calls for this week, so let's see.
Yeah, boy. Was there anything in the chat that you guys wanted to touch on? Anything?
Yeah, I would love to know why Duzio hates XLE so much.
I think he just likes to troll Monkey like he likes to play Mobileye.
Yeah, can we talk about Mobileye there?
Sure.
I want to know what he's seeing.
He doesn't. He hates it. He hates it. I traded Mobileye earlier this year, quite successfully, might I add. And he just thinks that I'm this hardcore Mobileye. I have to own it nonstop. So anyway, he's trying to troll me, but it doesn't work.
If you're looking at the laggards of the chip industry,
I do not like Mobileye.
Look at Umbrella, AMBA.
AMBA. I don't know. I'm
right.
shooting slow.
These are usually the last participants in the chip rally, but it's building out a solid base here. Could break out here. There's a double base bottom here. There's a lot here, but this thing has been a dog for a really, really long time. So I have no interest in trading it because every time I do, I eat it in the face, and I don't really like that. So it's similar to my AMD trading and my MU trading. We just don't do those things.
I'm with you. It's kind of just a big old stage one base. It's kind of tough to on the larger time frame, it'd be kind of tough to kind of pick your spot because it's like, well, do you want to wait for price to break out, like break through last month's high? Do you want it to break through, what is it, the February 23rd high, that kind of wick there? And then you've got the gap at 112. So it's like, okay, well, I don't know. I'd rather just set the alert at like 110, 112, and then maybe kind of hope for like an island bottom or something.
We
But
got time for one more. I just randomly scrolled up the chat and saw Ty ask for SEDG, Nick, and I think that's a name you know.
yeah, I mean, that's another slow name. I like it better than ENPH, and I kind of like the range from, what is it, 12 to 23, 24. I would imagine he's already got a position in it.
Yeah,
Let me
I
go-
don't
let me-
imagine you'd really want it under 29.
Yeah, so I think as long as it
you
holds
could
above
talk me into
the
28, but I wouldn't want to touch it below that.
yeah, for sure. You got the 10-week right there at 31. That's kind of the line that I'd be using to just kind of trail my position.
Agreed. Hey, that's it. Don't forget, you guys, if you want to come to Stocktoberfest, go to stocktoberfest.stocktwits.com. Use any one of our codes. I'll post mine on Stocktwits here shortly. But GP has a code. Nick has a code. So get 20% off if you plan on coming. That's the least we can do. We love you guys. Don't forget, next week, same time, Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern, right here, you'll get to see me. You'll get to see GP. And as always, we leave it with the last word. Nick, go.
Manage your risk.
GP?
Beware of the fuckery.
I like to beware of the fuckery. I say know what you're buying and stand in your conviction unless the thesis has changed. Peace out. We love